Hold on a sec. I gotta make sure my mic is working. Okay, it sounds good. Alright, let me move the microphone up so that, like, I'm not breathing into it. I have breathing problems, so, and I've had them show in the previous videos. Sound like that guy from Student Body, the killer in that movie, if anybody knows that. The breather. Anyways, this is going to be a challenging video. I'm on the Tam BOTC channel. I'm going to be reviewing 2 video games in one, but only using the footage for one of the games because of I have it in the description, so you can see it there. Why? But I'm going to start with Resident Evil 4 and then end with Zelda. So I'm going to look through the menu. I want to talk about a few things with the menu and stuff. So extras, I do want to mention that when it comes to some of the extra content, I think that while it's cool that there's hats and they do bring back some of the outfits, I am mad that the RPD isn't in there, and I hate microtransactions. I don't know why they... Even though I did get one of the microtransactions because I did genuinely like the outfit, I still don't promote it for other people, and I don't care for it. I just had the money to throw at it. I'm sure if you had the money, but I wouldn't promote that kind of stuff, even though I've stupidly done it myself. I hate that there's stuff that they lock, like I know the some of the soundtrack and other things. They have microtransactions. Like, god damn it, Capcom, why? There's less costume options for frick, what's her name? Ashley. So I think she only gets like 1 pair of glasses or something like that. That frickin' sucks. Where's the RPD? I like that you can wear indefinitely the classic jacket and stuff, but that's not really a costume. That's just something that's already in the game. You just are able to wear it more permanently. Mercenaries also, while it is fun, I like the abilities and stuff they add to the characters and the characters themselves. It just has less content in general. So I'm kind of using these. I like the hunk so far. I think they only have 3 maps though, which sucks because I think the original had 4, and they only have like 4 characters where there was 5 in the original. Where Zelda Wesker, they've been saying they're going to probably make that DLC. It depends on if it's paid or not. I have a feeling they're going to make it paid. So yeah, that freaking sucks. I'll briefly talk about the hard difficulties. Look at these loading screens. The harder difficulty, I want to briefly mention that in the harder difficulty, we'll probably start. So I'm gonna be playing this on professional mode, by the way. So yeah. Should I load new game? I'm gonna do standard new game, I guess. I'm not sure. Yeah. Once you get the... I've been missing out on utilizing stuff. They still have a lot of the collectibles, like the blue token things that you can break and stuff and get rewarded these special gems from the merchant. I do like the voice actors. There's more character development to certain characters. Hold on. Okay. What happened there? I'm gonna skip the cutscene for now.
September 30th, 1998.
I like that they recap and put more story in. Also, there's a lot of stupid things about me when I played this game originally that I should have known to do more. Like, I didn't know to parry stuff. And the dodge is a little awkward. Like, why does it have to be the crouch button? It just feels awkward to dodge. I think I kind of preferred the quick time event somewhat. I don't like quick time events, but I so preferred them because they gave me a lot of energy and they felt intense in the moment. This just feels awkward when you like crouch dodge. It's just slow and not quite as quick. I do think the village part of this game does drag a little bit, even though other parts of this game they do a decent job with the pacing. I like that there's more character development to Ashley and such. That this is trying to be both scary, though scary parts kind of wear off quickly. It's a graphics are really good. I do love it. I do have to say that identity-wise, I was just talking about this, but the problem I have with the recent Resident Evils is they're starting all to blend together, even with other games, and lose their identity a little bit. Like, you can still tell the difference between, like, games like God of War or any other third-person shooter you could use as an example, but like if you put like Last of Us or something next to each other than the character you're playing as, could you really tell a huge difference between them? You even have it down to the similar crouching animation. You got games like Evil Within and stuff trying to be, but Evil Within's got like an art style and such. This game, like, even though it's got its own look and it does separate itself, it just starts to blend in with other heavy story games that take control away from the player and throw cutscenes in front of your face, or it's like the same third-person shooter kind of setup. It doesn't feel much different from other games.
This is not good.
I know my aim was pretty crap. I do like the controls, though. They're very smooth. I think this is one of the better remakes of the series. Great lighting. I love the lighting, by the way. It's freaking awesome. I love the parts of the story. I do have problems with the villains. Like, I love how they hammed it up, and I feel like other than identity of separating this from other third-person shooters, because this feels like it's just another third-person shooter to some extent, and it kind of blends in with the other ones that we have, but losing its identity a little bit, you can still somewhat separate it. I'm not saying you can't. Let me get to, I'll talk about this in a bit, but yeah, it starts to blend in, and I hate the flashlight is scripted and that the character's in control. I complained a lot during my playthrough that there were too many dark parts. I like how the Dead Space remake lets you use, there's even scenes where you have your freaking flashlight at the end of your gun and you or turn off lights to reroute power to certain places in Dead Space Remake, so I think the Dead Space Remake is slightly better in those terms. But I like more control over my flashlight, please, in this game. So that would be great. I do love the variety of weapons, though they did get rid of a certain... They did get rid of a certain weapon. I love the parrying system now that I'll be practicing that more to deflect weapons, and you do feel cool kicking people. Though on harder difficulties, once again I was trying to get to that, it is harder to stagger enemies shooting them in the leg or the head or something. Like, that will probably barely happen. Come here. Okay. Look at that. Look at that headshot. Who said that? And where are they? Look at those good headshots. But yeah, like, I hate that on harder difficulties it makes it harder to frickin' dodge your enemies. I want to talk about Ashley escort stuff. I actually think she, even though I like the voice actor and she's less annoying with her high-pitched voice like the original, and I think that's why people think Ashley in the original was annoying, and just people had the typical hate escort missions because it's an outdated, annoying thing in general that we had to deal with other older games with. I felt like it was done better though. Ashley gets in your way a lot more. I started noticing it, and I even remarked on it in the gameplay. I know I'm being harsh to Resident Evil, but tough love. I feel like the villains, there are some good bosses. I hate that some parts and bosses have been ripped out of the game entirely. Oh, I hate Ada, by the way, the voice actress for Ada. Like, I'm not looking forward to her DLC, because if that actress is not going to give it her all, she's just really phoning it in. But I love the... I hate what they did with the villains. The villains are frickin'... Like, they did great with Leon. It does feel like it loses identity, too, where it's like, this game feels like it's trying to be a realistic, dark kind of horror game or whatever at times, but at other times it feels like it's being over goofy and over the top, and then there's like times where it's like, oh, they refuse to use certain lines of dialogue. Like the freaking "no thanks, bro." Like, I love that cheesy stuff, and you replace it to try to make... It's kind of like the thing I've heard Doug complain about with the Lion King. It's like they take out important things or things that would have benefited or make the frickin' that stuff, those remakes of Disney movies, much better. And they either add stuff that's pointless and dumb, or they take away from certain things. But yeah, it's just kind of annoying. Where the villains just don't have enough. I liked their cheesy dialogue between each other. I liked Leon's cheesy dialogue. I do like Krauser and the knife battle you have to fight with him. This is pretty fun. I hate, what's his face, little dwarf. Is it dwarf? I don't know what the right word to use is, I'm sorry. I think dwarf is a cool word, though, even though I know it's probably not a word people want to be called. I don't know what to say. I love dwarf just because I'm thinking of, like, Lord of the Rings and stuff, and I think dwarf is just such a cool name in general. Or dwarves, with a V. Multiple dwarves. But, this is like the another Brian Regan joke I can use, where it's like, the frickin', what's a flock of moose? Mooses! Mises, many mooses. Mises. Moosin' or whatever. I can't remember what he said. He said something ridiculous. But yeah, I love the, you can carry over a lot your save. I like that there's more difficulty options, though they're ridiculous and probably overbearing at times. I like that you can feel like a badass in this game. I hate, once again, I hate the RPD outfit isn't in this. I loved the RPD outfit, and they could have just ripped that out of the original game. I wasn't gonna get the other crow. I'm finally getting crows. I haven't played this in a little bit, so I'm sorry if I am rusty in parts out. I love, there are some cool scenes too with Leon. I love the chainsaw battle cutscene where he jumps over, does a flip over the chainsaws coming through the wall. And then there's the wolf. I love seeing the wolf in his little cutscene. Freaking awesome. I love that wolf. He's a good boy. He's a Paparuski. Like, this game's beautiful. I'm just playing on a PS4 Pro. Like, I can imagine what this probably looks like on frickin' a PS5 or whatever, or better. Like a really good PC. But yeah, like, I hated the flashlight thing. I'm sorry if I repeat myself in parts. I love doing that. The combat's really fun and smooth. Of course I love that, the gunplay and everything. I'm sorry that, like, a lot of my stuff was negative. But, like, frickin' Ashley was annoying. I feel like they did. I like that you can do that, by the way, to finish off the enemies, so that they, as well as discovering other things, like using to make that frickin' one boss battle better. You can just throw like a rotten egg at it. I didn't know that, and frickin' just make that boss battle go away easily. Some of the bosses were done better, some of them worse. They miss entire characters for some reason. Oh, I see you. I ran into a lot of these bear traps, by the way, in my playthrough. You gotta be very, watchful. I didn't find myself... Oh, I see you. Oh, he's... okay. But, the game gives you plenty of supplies. I love that your, inventory screen and the, like, UI in general is the same as usual that you love. You know, using, like, organizing all your stuff in the little box and crafting stuff. They did do a lot of things better in this game. Like the voice actors, I think this is the same voice actor from the 2 remake. I think they did a good job. He's much better in this than he was in Resident Evil 2 remake. I kind of found him a little boring and forgettable in the 2 remake. Oh, what the hell? Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, this game's goddamn great. You can tell there's still a lot of love and passion given to this game, and for the original. I do think that there are things this does better-ish, though a lot of the reason, and it's the same with like the Resident Evil 1 remake, a lot of the things they did were purposed for, that really worked for the mechanics in that gameplay. I find crouching and stealth kind of forgettable and not necessary. Like, you're gonna immediately drop doing stealth. It really isn't necessary to do. Let's see if I can sneak up on this person. But stealth really isn't necessary and used much in this game. Like, you're gonna probably stealth maybe 1 or 2 people, and then the rest of them are gonna come after you. Like, not much you can do there. It's kind of wasted, honestly. Has no point to it. Yeah. The atmosphere is great, though I don't feel quite as scared the more the game goes on. And, is there somebody gonna be in here? Okay. That needs a pick lock. Oh!
Here we go.
What's wrong with my freaking aim right now? Oh, what the hell? Hey! I gotta heal. Oh, I can just use this. Let's combine this though. So you're gonna see some of the crafting. It's stuff that got super amazing. You first got ink ribbons oh no, not ink ribbons. You got the same save system. I'm thinking of the wrong thing. That looks like the ink ribbons, though. Uh, but yeah, I still thought this was a great experience. I almost thought I was gonna walk over the bear trap. Like, I'm trying to learn from that, but like, I walked over so many bear traps, I wouldn't believe it. Oh! Frick.
Damn it.
That's another thing, your knife can break. Take that. What is a parry? Fuck off. Forget the frickin' parry button.
Give me a break already.
I forget the frickin' parry. Oh god. Gonna the chainsaw guy. I think there's something different about the I can't exactly place my finger on it. But I think there is... Oh wait, I don't want to equip that. I think there is something different about the, enemies. I can't place my, finger on it though. Oh, I don't have... Oh crap, I just realized I don't have a knife though. Oh. Oh, I'm dead. Yep. First I get 20 equilibrations for you, that are ridiculous. Damn, that was a dead end for me. I was gonna go either way. That was a bad place I put myself in. That was my fault. Just know that I do love this game, but I had run into some issues, and some of them become more noticeable the more you play, or as the more you play through, especially on professional difficulty. Yeah, I kind of am sad that certain, like, the villains are very generic. I hate that. That, like, saddens me. That's like if they did the same thing to Albert Wesker and didn't give him any kind of, care. I hate that it brings me back to the main, screen again whenever my controller is disconnecting a lot. It's the frickin' cord to this controller is frickin' weak for whatever reason. And I frickin' hate that. But yeah, like I'm just kind of sad that like I love this game. I enjoy it, and I like Ashley's part of the like gameplay part and such. Like that was a great part of the game. Almost forgot about that. I do think that the merchant's great. I actually do like the voice actor, but I will say that the character talks too much. The character only talked due to your interactions with his selling and buying and stuff, and with the character itself. So you would only talk during that. What is with games and having to not shut the hell up, like Atomic Heart and Forspoken? This game's not as bad as those when it comes to that, but like, man, like, why do people think games needing to have tons of dialogue is a good thing? It's freaking annoying. It is not necessary. Okay, what?
Here we go.
So, frick you. My health is already being drained. Jeez. Frickin' annoying. I want to get the shotgun. I'm going to loop around. I know there's more stuff. I think there's some environmental kills if I'm remembering. I know there's a couple of environmental. But, get the frick out of my way. But yeah, I think you will enjoy some of the characters. They do sacrifice the villains, sadly. I think Ashley is actually worse in this game once again, compared to how she is in the others. There are some cool details and Easter eggs and stuff that they do have. And once again, I do think this is the best of the remake so far. But I still think that it has some problems. It does get rid of a few good things from the previous game, like whenever you... Sometimes, I think it's mostly on the first item you pick up, but you'll have the little thing that shows you what the item is you got. Stop.
Come on. Way's closed.
Didn't get the frickin'... I have no knife as well, so I can't frickin' parry. I do love the shooting range music, by the way, like that music's freaking great. Oh my goodness. Like, there's so many awful scenarios I could put myself into. Yucks. Up here. Where the frick's the shotgun? There it is. Don't know why I missed... Oh, I missed that. I think I only... Go.
Present for you.
I need more of you guys over here. Oh, what the...
Here you go.
Frame rate, what is going on there? I think I remember having some... I like that there is a lot of thinking power and strategy to your combat. Okay, trick you with that. I think the AI is programmed a little differently from how they were before. So, once again, when I was talking about the dialogue, like, having dialogue that doesn't work or is weird in what it's trying to get across, because it feels like it's like entirely doing better with the headshots. At least at times I'm doing better with the headshots.
Huh?
But it loses identity also just because, like, the way that the AIs are programmed. Though it does work for this, like, makes sense. I don't know if this game has that same system where if you're doing really good, it starts to change, like, how much ammo you get, as well as, like, if the types of ammo you get, kind of like what Dead Space does. Which took a lot of inspiration from this game. I don't know what to say. I think I haven't played the Dead Space remake, but I've seen tons of other people play it multiple times. And from what I'm seeing, I kind of like the Dead Space remake a little bit better than this, just because of the previous things I just mentioned, as well as when I compared the whole flashlight thing. Like, the tone I was saying, like, he's about to say, where's everyone going? Bingo. Like, if you're gonna go with goofy lines like that in a game that you're also trying to be serious in, it just feels like the tone is kind of a little bit all over the place. Though they do it better here than some of the other Resident Evils at times. But man, I missed, like, I actually love Resident Evil 7 because I love Jack Baker, even Marguerite and Lucas. I love how over the top they are, and they feel like Resident Evil villains. They're so goofy. I kinda hate and love their boss battles because they not only remind me of the older Resident Evil boss battles, and some of them are scary, like Marguerite's. Does creep me out. But I love Jack Baker's frickin' boss fight, especially the first one. I love that he chases you around the house. I love that setting, even though it doesn't have enough variety like Village. Even Village was very creative with its characters, and there's like the dumb argument, Actman already covered stuff, but the dumb argument of like, are they censoring their characters or making them less sexy? Like, honestly, don't give a crap, but, it is weird going from Resident Evil Village and then this game and having to bring something like that up because Lady Dimitrescu and her daughters were kind of, you know, you had hots for them. They were kind of sexy. No, but, shh, don't tell anybody. Oh wait, everybody knows. And everybody else knows that they have the... No, but... like, she was barely in that game, though, which is kind of sad. And there are some great characters in that. There's some over-the-top characters. I do like this where they did add some different things. Traps feel more tedious and annoying rather than an obstacle after a while, and then they kind of go away altogether. And there is great exploration. Fun exploration and stuff. And they have a semi-open world. I can see this game being a pain in the ass to speedrun. I sped run other Resident Evils before. I have a feeling this one's going to be a pain in the ass to speedrun, though. They did remove one of the exploits where you can phase through a mountain or whatever and get through. So there's couple of glitches where you no-clip through stuff, basically. Similar to glitches you can perform, like there's the stairs glitch in the library section of Resident Evil 2 where you can get the zombie in just the right place, that downed zombie, to do the bite your leg animation, and then you can like phase through a good part of the level. You have to first go over to that part of the level where the floor breaks, make sure that it's not broken already, and use that to skip a good majority of the game. Stuff like that, but I think they removed some of those things, though that's not to say that they won't find other exploits in the game. So, yeah. You got another one of this. I'm probably gonna save. What I was talking about too, like other than like QuickTime events, I can see those being a reason why you might prefer what this game does better. But I will say it fixes that thing where every time you pick up an item, it has to flash a little thing in your face of that item, and then you click either yes or no to pick it up. Kind of breaks up the pacing and gameplay, but I think that mostly only does that for the first of that item you discover. It's kind of like Zelda, where you discover an item, and I'll get to Zelda soon. And it shows you what the item is that you picked up for the first time, or that you discovered it. And then that every other time you pick up that same item, it just smoothly goes through and you can just pick it up casually. There might be options to make that stop, though, in that Resident Evil. There's so many versions of Resident Evil 4, just like Skyrim. So, and they're probably cheaper than this game, too. It's another thing to keep in mind. And I don't have any nostalgia connected to this game, by the way. I actually did not like the original Resident Evil 4 originally, but when I started understanding it later in life, and this was after Resident Evil 5 and even 6, I started to understand what it was all about, what it was trying to do, its purpose in general, and I started to love it more. And like, I'm not a big fan of games that are really big, that people are trendy or become known as the best game ever. I think the only two games that I like that are referenced as the best games ever are probably Chrono Trigger, Zelda Ocarina of Time. Even though I don't think that's the best game ever, but it is a great game, and there's just so many iconic settings and set pieces for that game that it's kind of become a big deal over the years. And I don't care how it looks. I still love... graphics are not everything, and I take gameplay over graphics. And the gameplay is great in this game. I love when you learn to finally parry stuff if your knife isn't broken, that is. It looks badass, as well as when you shoot someone in the leg or the head and you stagger them and you can do your roundhouse kick on them. It looks really badass, and especially when you're knocking over a row of enemies with that. Is there anything else to add? I've had some texture pop-ins and such in this game, as well as you saw some frame rate, but that could just be the console that it's ported to, though you would hope they would port it better. I've been seeing a lot of that disaster happen to PC ports a lot lately. Like, sadly, the recent Jedi game had that problem, but I do think that game's good. I just wish the PC port wasn't trash. I don't know how the PC port for this game is, but if it is a problem, then that sucks, but if not, then that's great. That is great news. So, I think I'm gonna finally wrap this up. Yeah, once again, when it comes to how the game runs and like stuff like the music and sound design and everything, Resident Evil always does a fantastic job. And the voice acting is great, except for Ada. Ada's freaking awful. That is kind of unforgivable, though you could argue she's barely in the game, but she's gonna have her own DLC, obviously, so... not looking forward to it. I hope the actress, either they go over her lines more, and make her better actress, and not boring and lifeless like they did. Because she had no personality whatsoever. She was frickin' boring in her delivery, and had some weird lines of dialogue. Like, there was some weird writing with her too. Like, some of the dialogue she had to say was pretty stupid, honestly. But yeah, I still had a lot of fun with this. Hello, I'm over here. this one? I don't think so. Not super scary, I will say. It definitely does not really scare me. It becomes very typical Resident Evil action shooty game after a while. So it basically follows a lot of the beats of Resident Evil 4 original. But yeah, and you can walk and shoot, of course, though that did serve a purpose to the gameplay and mechanics of the original version of Resident Evil 4. Okay, I've already been here. I do think that the jump scare to the giant water beast as well as that boss battle sucks, because they cut to an obvious cutscene with that instead of the frickin' jump scare it does that's more natural in the original. It doesn't jump to a cutscene, feels in-game. Not to say that isn't using in-game. I kind of feel like they should have done away with the chapter when you go into another chapter. I was talking about this in my playthrough, where they should have switched you into the next chapter more smoothly and not have the big chapter and save screen up when they throw so many saves at you in general. And once again, stop making microtransactions, Capcom. What are you doing? I'm glad, from what I'm hearing, Street Fighter 6 is doing really well, but goddamn, please stop. And I hope you don't do anything to that game either. Like, pissing me off. I need to play the demo still to that, so
There it is.
I don't know if I'm able to play it. Okay, this is a safe room. Sorry, my knife is broken. There's still stuff like snakes in boxes too that you break, so watch out for stuff like that. Is this the one Wait, why does it say 1304? Hold on. Okay. Weird. Customize case? Oh, okay. Yeah, there's like charms and stuff you can make for your case. Whatever. Let's actually, there's plenty of accessibility options I'd have to go through there as well, but it seems like they did a pretty good job with the accessibility of this game. I don't know what else to add to that, honestly. There's plenty of features here, and I just don't know how to add to that, honestly. Like, that's not something I can contribute too much to. But, okay, yeah, these are pretty cool. Look at this. This is pretty cool. I love the preset to auditory accessibility, or visual, or motion sickness. So if you're a motion sickness person, no, I'm just okay, weird. Do I even have that connected? I heard somebody. I do like that there's plenty of animals and livestock roaming around. It does make the game feel alive. Yeah, this is the best there is in Evil remakes. I did complain about things, but I do overall really enjoy the experience. But note that I don't think it is a masterpiece or totally perfect. I feel like its flaws compared to the flaws I've seen rant on and such talk with Zelda are more present here compared to Zelda. I think that the flaws, like, it's redundant, the kind of complaints people make about Zelda, as well as they're just not very good or well thought out complaints, honestly, either. Like, once again, they're redundant. I wanted to use that word in the other video. I used some other word. I can't even remember that one now. I have a bad memory with that stuff. Picking out the right words to say. But, yeah, like, if I rated this what would I rate it? I think I would give it a... I usually do point something so that I can have differences between each game. I think I would give this an 8.7. I'm going to give it an 8.7. I do think it is a really good Resident Evil game. If I did like the Resident Evil 2 remake, that would probably be a solid 8. The 3 remake was a frickin' 5 in my eyes. I mean, maybe it's higher at lower prices, but goddamn, I did not get it at lower price, and even at lower price, it still feels like a huge disappointment because I frickin' love that game, and there's so much content just ripped away, so less replay value. Yeah, I could go on about that frickin' remake, remaster, whatever. It's the worst of the remakes, where this is the best so far. Though I do really like Mr. X and the remake of 2. That is pretty cool. Though he stole Nemesis's mojo, his thing that he's known for, and now Nemesis is a pushover and a dumbass. There's actually some good videos that I would recommend, though I can't remember the YouTubers that went over Nemesis and how stupid that frickin' game is. Even the stuff it does way worse than the original, for sure. I did not like Jill in that game also. Jill was frickin'... Jill's like one of my video game crushes, if anything. Same with Tali from Mass Effect, and I felt like she was fricking disappointing in that game, and not my Jill. Hashtag not my Jill. I hate hashtags in general, but I thought it would be funny. Yeah. So let's move on to Tears of the Kingdom, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. The fricking... I hated my review of Breath of the Wild, because I did not feel like I did a good enough job explaining my feelings on that game. But, let me see one of those blue medallions. Oh, I can sneak up on this guy. Oh. That's right, my knife is broken. Thank you. Is there anybody else around here? Does that count as a stealth kill? Thanks for the eggs. Oh. I'm sorry, Piggy. What? He died from me kicking him? On accident? He was in the way. What? Piggy, no. Hey, all I did was kick. The hell? The Chuck Norris roundhouse kick. How did you... Okay, never mind. That was dumb. That sucked. But, Tears of the Kingdom. I was going on over some stuff with Ranton. Like, I think I would have to use his perspective of what he's talked about to show, like, what I think Zelda is really good. Yes, there's tedious stuff, but it's a Zelda game, and an open world game, you kind of expect a lot of that stuff, even though I would prefer it not there, and I can understand the perspective. It's not Witcher 3, so stop trying to expect Witcher 3 or something like that. And using Elden Ring and Fallout 4 settlement thing. Like, there's the whole mechanics, purposed mechanics of the game have a lot more purpose in the game itself. So they actually play a heftier part, and they're very creative. I love the freedom of the game too. With the creativity and how you can approach each mission, stuff like that is really cool. Can I break this? Can you open the door, please? Open the door. You opening the right door?
It's locked.
You... okay. Whatever. Can you let me in? What? What? Got a little note here. There's plenty of lore too in both of these games, through the notes as well to read, which the original Resident Evil 4 also had a lot of stuff too. Oh. Oh. Kind of blended in. Where did you come from, though? Am I hearing another person? Okay. Weird. Anyways.
No good.
It's still locked. What the hell? But, like, they have... So, Tears of the Kingdom, or Breath of the Wild 2, has 2 open world areas, not really much for spoilers. I have to say, I also want to say quickly, not to spoil the story, I just want to quickly say that I like the story and that there's more there, as well as the character development is done much better. I do love the side quests. They freaking, even though I do feel like the shrines got a little easier than the original, at least not original, but you know, the previous Zelda game, I still really liked it. There are a lot of collectibles and stuff. I do think someone like Completionist is going to have a hard time, but I feel like that's because he's rushing himself instead of taking his time with it. And that's going to affect his overall opinion of the game, because he's rushing himself and he knows this game is a big deal and it has a lot now, and he's purposely making it worse for himself instead of going at a certain pace, and that's his job and the way he's probably going to play it for the most part. But there's a lot of stuff to do, a lot of side quests, awesome boss battles, there's plenty of enemy variety. I know that Dranton complained about simple combat. Zelda's not really meant to be a big deal in its gameplay. It is a more simple, it's Nintendo. But it is not simple. That's the thing too, is there is more to its gameplay, because once again, just like Breath of the Wild, it gives you multiple experimentation and options. The reason I think comparing the settlement stuff is a really dumb thing to compare is because that is not a big deal purpose. That is more of a side activity. You don't necessarily need to do that. It is objective for the most part. Where Zelda, while it is a lot of side stuff and experimentation, it does play parts in the main story. And I do think the main dungeons, I won't say too much, but I do think the main dungeons and the puzzles they do with those two, the puzzles to the buttons you click, yes, I understand it is a typical gameplay design they have done in the past, but not only is it Zelda, and you should probably expect stuff like that, though I wouldn't say that's a good argument, but I would say that the puzzles and ways you lead up to those getting those switches and stuff, as well as the dungeons and their structure and such themselves are much more interesting, as well as the final bosses are much cooler and more interesting. There is much enemy variety, much more enemy variety once again. I love the enemy variety. There's some really cool enemies. There's plenty to do in the underground. Like, the enemies have the effect that I would expect from a Dark Souls game, where they kind of half your health or take health away from by making the little broken hearts, and you can cure that with certain like potions or food that you create from certain gloom-based ingredients or whatever, like those gloom powders. Once again, everything has a purpose to the mechanics, like I talked about with stamina and such. Like,
God damn.
oh, there's great enemy variety in this game too. I must have forgot about to talk about that. Oh, okay, that wasn't something I could dodge as easily. But, okay, where's the... There it is. I think we're gonna use that, though. But, I love the I love exploring, both the up above world. I don't think the map necessarily needs to change. Though I understand that, get up the ladder, goddamn. Crying out loud. But I'll get to your message in a bit, I'm sorry. Maybe Cap Minor. But when it comes to Breath of the Wild, I think there's plenty of enemy variety once again to the game. I think that there is, or not Breath of the Wild, Breath of the Wild 2, Tears of the Kingdom. I think there's plenty of enemy variety to that game. There's plenty of boss battles and things to do. There's like Coliseum arenas and some pretty difficult bosses that I think give Elden Ring a run for its money at times. Like, it's not really a spoiler, but there's a Coliseum where there are 4 fricking Lionels that you have to fight in a row, and they're fricking hard if you do not have enough hearts and crap, or are not very well prepared for that. There's also other boss battles that are pretty hard, that I think, once again, give... As well as I love some of the enemies that they give you. I love that he holds his gun sideways sometimes. And you have plenty of ways of fighting. The combat is not that simple. You can use your abilities. There's some pretty cool abilities. I don't want to spoil some of them, but they are useful. And because of the enemy variety, there are also different ways to take out enemies too, either using element-based attacks or weapons. And I love the weapon fusion thing. It does make for some really cool, creative weapons that you can make. Don't get up on my grill, bro. Did he hit me? Okay, Did he hit the pig or something? What happened? Okay, weird. But, I think because... There you are, you sucker. Dumbass thing. Good, I took out that frickin' dude. Where's my phone? What the hell happened to my phone? I've been playing a lot of Zelda. I actually completed all the shrines recently, as well as all the underground, light thingies. I had a bunch of stuff in my way. What the hell did I just see? What was that? Oh god. Some fricking reminder on my fricking phone for some reason for the BioWare store showed a body pillow for Rex. What? That was weird. That was kind of creepy, but funny. Somebody probably into that. Honestly, me and Tally wink. But or Liara, or Miranda. I have a lot of game crushes from Mass Effect, honestly. But I'm getting to the messages, by the way, because I don't load them up. Hi, sorry I'm late. That's alright, like, you don't have to feel obligated to watch these or anything. They're not obligation, I'm using frickin' Ranton's terms, which is wrong that he used frickin' obligation when it came to the weapon fusing for Zelda. Yes, you get crappy weapons at first in that game, but as you level your hearts and stuff or get further into the story, there are different types of enemies, like the white enemies or the black enemies. How did this cow die? What? What? How did you die? What the hell? Whatever. I did not kill that cow. That was their fault. I accidentally killed the pig, though. But, there's plenty of different options to how you play the combat in Zelda, because it gives you so many tools and ways of playing to work with. Should probably return this cog up here. I'm amazed by the puzzles. Like, I didn't think they could outdo themselves with the puzzles in Tears of the Kingdom, but like it blew my mind, kind of. But yeah, freaking awesome. I forgot to talk about the puzzles in this game. I do think the puzzles are great. I don't know if I could compare them to the original Resident Evil 4, honestly. I think they do a good enough job, and some of them do a good job representing the original. But we're talking about Tears of the Kingdom, so screw you, Resident Evil. I already got done with you. I gave you your rating, if you guys want to know what that rating is. This video will be going up, or I can say it here. I gave it an 8.7 out of 10. I don't have bias towards Resident Evil, because I actually didn't originally like the original Resident Evil 4, as I said earlier, but you wouldn't know until the video goes up. But I might be a little biased towards Zelda. I'm a huge freaking Zelda fan, but I think as long as I have good arguments or standpoints or things to say, criticizing wise, or just what I like, what I think works, whether objective or subjective, is also up to you. Or maybe I'll say like what I feel is objective and what is subjective. But yeah, I don't think there's anything there other than when I was watching Ranton's video, I had a lot of problems with some of the things he said, because I feel like there wasn't a whole lot of thought put into... God damn it, I hate seeing this. Are you drinking that water? Well, he's kind of licking the ground, so it's probably just an animation. Whatever. Enjoy your dirt, mud, whatever. Jeff Goldbluming it up now. Jeff Goldblum here. But yeah, I'm really enjoying my time with Zelda. I do think there's a lot of frickin' game and a lot of collectibles. I found out there are 1,000 Korok seeds to collect in that game. God fricking damn it. Why? They do add new puzzles, though there are some that are familiar. If you played Breath of the Wild, you're both familiar and it feels new to you with the stuff they present. Oh, is this just for a shortcut? Go back. But like, there's so much I could go into with the game. Once again, I love the boss battles. I said that I feel like some of the boss battles or boss situations can sometimes give Elden Ring, and even maybe other Souls games, a run for its money. I think personally I'm going to have to replay the game again, but I feel personally Sekiro is one of the hardest for me. But I know that a lot of people that are familiar with the game or love the game like crazy think that it's... Oh, what the frick? I forgot all about that. Jeez. But a lot of people find it actually pretty easy. I personally have a hard time. I had to use some glitches to get through bosses in that game. But we're not talking about that game. I just thought I'd bring it up briefly. But yeah, I really enjoyed my time with Tears of the Kingdom, and I did enjoy my time with Resident Evil 4. I already said that, of course. I'm just repeating myself. Which is bound to probably happen with me, sadly. But Tears of the Kingdom is definite. Both these games are definite recommendations. I was skeptical about the $70 price point with Tears of the Kingdom, but honestly, I think it is worth it in the end. There's other things I could talk about with the Underground part too, because I remember Ranton hated that, and I brought up that there's Coliseums with their own challenges and stuff, and there's stores down there. There's the Poe statue things you can buy from. There's a lot of the amiibo outfits you can get from there, as well as amiibo weapons. There's those ghosts of soldiers that you can find. I don't think that's spoiler, but you get weapons from them. There's plenty of ways to get weapons. I also want to talk about durability and stamina. I love the durability and stamina. I don't think it's much of a problem, like even in Breath of the Wild. I see why people don't like it, but it is purposed. I think if the game didn't have the amount of stamina or whatever that it did, and especially since you can raise it anyways or find ways around it, like food items that can help out, or the game kind of can throw weapons at you from time to time. I love it. It adds a layer of challenge and difficulty that I feel is necessary. I'm getting these headshots pretty well today. I'm doing a good job with that. I need to learn to parry more. Oh, I didn't see this frickin' path. Okay. No wonder I was backtracking. Anybody up there? Oh, there's a dude up there. Come down here with me. Oh, there's people. Oh, okay, he's dead. Oh, frick. Somebody behind me, I think. What? No? What? Where? Up there? Where are you? Oh, is he trying to throw stuff? Take the knife, dumbass. There's durability in this game too. But a lot of games, I actually feel like there are other games that have worse durability and stamina. You could use Skyrim. Skyrim has pretty bad stamina. I love Skyrim though. Doesn't stop me from loving the game. I think that I don't like the durability in the older Dark Souls games, and I don't like the durability in Witcher 3, honestly. Like, those, like, it's not terrible, but I honestly hate it more there. Look at this. This is a section where, like, why is Leon not taking out his frickin' flashlight? This is frickin' dark as hell, and there are even darker areas in this game. It's frickin' annoying. But I want the player to be in control of the flashlight, not the character, and have it be scripted. But, yeah, even though I can see the points of views people are coming from with the durability and the stamina, I don't agree with them, and I think that they add a layer to the gameplay that is deeply needed to actually add a layer of difficulty that a lot of people have a hard time with. We should probably reload this. I think there's gonna be... Yeah, I was just about to say. Oh, frick. Blow me up, asshole. Oh, jeez. Yeah, here. Oh, jeez. Look at me. I'm frickin' spotting the bear traps this time. Good for me. Whoa! I don't think I have my knife right now. Oh, I do have my knife. Okay. Oh, I saw you too. Oh! Oh, you asshole. Jeez. Oh, my controller went red. I'm sorry that I don't have Tears of the Kingdom gameplay for you. There are tons of different collectibles in the game too, from even cutscenes that you might miss. Like, I do think that maybe if you're not looking for the dragon tears, which is kind of a collectible, there are cutscenes you could potentially miss that I do think you should collect those. I do feel like it would immerse your experience more. I love the music better this time around in Tears of the Kingdom. A lot of people said that like the music was more atmospheric and that it wasn't as noticeable, or like, I don't know how to put it, like it was more focused on being something to set the atmosphere rather than oh frick. Okay, that's the nope. There we go. I gotta frickin' parry one of these. I gotta get that off because when I was playing this originally, I frickin' was a dumbass. I didn't know. Oh frick! I didn't heal myself. I didn't even know I could parry, honestly, the frickin' incoming weapons and attacks. I didn't think about that. I wasn't putting my Dark Souls brain. Which is another thing that adds to the combat, too. Other than slow-mo and your frickin' dodges and fury attacks in Zelda, like, you have other ways of attacking in Tears of the Kingdom than the Breath of the Wild game. I am...
One down.
I do kind of want to have one of you guys hit me. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, frick. Frick you. Okay, that's a problem. Oh, I missed. I'm doing pretty well with the headshots today. Like, I'm proud of myself. But I've whiffed a couple, but I'm doing much better this time around. I need to learn to parry more, too. I'm also seeing the bear traps in them, too. Okay, I can't parry a bomb, though. Invincibility frames. Oh. Don't want to walk into that. I'm sorry if, like, I'm not as focused on my, oh, come on. Focused on the review, like, I'm playing the game and, like, oh, you frickin' asshole. Look, I have almost no health, what the hell? But I like that Breath of the Wild has a good amount of challenge to it. Where is this frickin' TNT asshole? Where is he? Or she? Or whatever. Don't assume my gender. Are you gender slaying into me? That was a cringy thing I said to my friend as a joke. He said it's cursed. And it all happened because of the frickin' one asshole that, like, fricking made a giant-ass mistake on my video. I made a mistake too, but not as big as his frickin' and rude as his mistake. I even went over the messages that I made in with my friends, and they said, yeah, it's pretty reasonable things you said. Oh, frick. So, I just want to say that briefly. But yeah, I think I want to finally review, I can't remember where I left off with Tears of the Kingdom, but I think I want to finally give it a final score. I had a tough time talking about Breath of the Wild. I hated my review of Breath of the Wild back in the day. At least I have footage of that game, though I don't know if it was very good. Footage of me playing it, but I will... Where the frick is this person? They gotta be... Oh, there they are. How do I get up there? Is there a way to get up there? Gotta be. There we go. I'm coming to kick your ass. Get ready. Don't you dare! What? Oh, frick, maybe I shouldn't have stood that close. I feel like Kurt Russell from The Thing, where you kind of got blown back a little bit. If you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, like this, it's like Tears of the Kingdom is. Both these games were really hard for me to give a rating. I had a hard time when thinking to myself, like, what am I going to rate both of these? What am I going to rate to both of these? I know there's a lot of people arguing that Tears of the Kingdom is overrated and it's getting 10s. So is Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 Remake got a bunch of freaking 10s. I don't think I'll ever give something a 10 out of 10. I don't think there's any game that's perfect. I think almost nothing is going to reach a 10 for me. And I do point something, even though I've heard people say that they hate the point stuff, like say 1.1 or whatever. That's not what I'm reviewing Zelda, though I will use the joke Angry Joe said, where he said you can't pet the dogs. 1 out of 10. But you can still interact with the animals, feed them. If you're close to them, they'll show a little heart thing and love you. I think the dogs will sometimes dig up a treasure for you. I love their animations too. You can pet the horse. You can pet the horses. The horses are kind of as interactive as they were in Red Dead Redemption 2. I remember AVGN complaining about the graphics. I understand when it comes to details or low-res details on like rocks and objects, but it's more of an art style. A lot of the games cel-shaded art style, and I feel like it might be a preference of his, but it's also a kind of silly complaint when he started comparing it to Red Dead 2. It's like that game's an entirely different looking game. Compare. I didn't need to shoot that, but I kind of wanted to see if I could set it off there. Probably can. What am I gonna rate Zelda though? Is there anything else, too, that I wanted to bring up? I don't know. I think there are great boss battles. I love the sound design. I love the voice actors. I had to get used to Zelda in the first game, and now I think I'm used to her in this game. Or not the first game. There's so many Zeldas, but the first of this type of Zelda. I don't mind the underworld part. I actually was creeped out originally, but when I first entered the underground area, the gloom area, I was like, there were like a pair of headlights coming at me the first time I went down there. I was like, what the frick, is there a car coming at me? That'll frick. I love the vehicles and the creativity of the game, too. The music's much better this time. Can you shoot the water here? Is this where I can shoot the water? I don't want to do that right now, though, if it is. Because, yeah, I haven't saved in a little bit, and I did quite a bit recently. But, it probably isn't, though. What do you mean? Is this the place? What? Okay. But I hear a bomb. But yeah, I've really enjoyed my time with Zelda. I love the experimentation. I love that there's a lot of freedom to what you can do. So many goddamn collectibles in the game. I can see people getting overwhelmed. Okay, what is going on here? Okay. Come here. There we go. I almost thought it was gonna go off anyway. That would be a jerk move. What is going on here in frickin' banging? But I think I'm going to rate Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I'm going to rate and I'll give it a rating what I think of Breath of the Wild. I'd probably have to replay Breath of the Wild or fool around with it more. I do think this game's an improvement, definitely. I'm going to give it a 9.5. I honestly really enjoyed it. There are tedious things you can find, like I do think the dungeons are better, though, the main dungeons, because of the way they're structured and the puzzles in them. Even though you are doing the thing that I can see you saying tedious, pressing the typical buttons or repeating what the Breath of the Wild did with a lot of its stuff, even down to the collectathon stuff. I like the puzzles contributed to each of them. Because they are done much better. Oh, is this where Louise is? Hello, sir. Oh, no. Stay down. Frick you. But, I think I had the most fun with it. I think it is a Game of the Year contender. And I hope that the judges at the Game Awards don't simp for another game, kind of like they did with or try and give, pity points to another game, kind of like they did with, oh no, this is not where he's, unless he's down there. Like they did with Last of Us Part 2, they gave that frickin' game pity points. I feel like they're gonna try, I was talking to my friend, I feel like they're gonna try doing that with, thanks for the flashlight finally, give pity points to Hogwarts Legacy. I am worried about Hogwarts Legacy because I do not think that game is that amazing. It's not a bad game though, it's cool content. I just have some gripes with it. Actually a lot of the gripes are similar gripes that Pyrocynical brought up.
It hurts, you know? It seemed like you really wanted to talk. How absurd.
But yeah, I really enjoyed my time with both these games. I think we're getting some really good games finally this year. We had to deal with Redfall and Forspoken, and what was another game? We'll deal with Gollum. Frick that game. There's actually another Lord of the Rings game coming out where it is a multiplayer Mines of Moria game. I look forward to that because I frickin' love the part in the Lord of the Rings book on the Mines of Moria. That part's one of my favorite things to read in any book because it's so atmospheric. Your imagination goes wild with it, and the build-up of that section. Let me just check. Okay, good. I just want to make sure I'm not saving over one of my previous saves that I want to keep. So, yeah. I want to replay the previous Resident Evil games. I want to replay 7 and 8 again. So hopefully I can do those. I was playing a little bit of 2 and 3 Remake. I frickin' hate 3 Remake. I'd love to talk about that in a different video though, but that game pisses me off because I love Resident Evil 3. That's like one of my personal favorite games in the series. I love that game, along with the original Resident Evil Remake and Resident Evil 5, just because that's frickin' ridiculous schlocky B-action movie with the Matrix villain Albert Wesker in it. I love that. It's frickin' awesome. Also, Jill and Shiva are hot. And boulder punching asshole, which was actually said in Village, but still, I frickin' love how ridiculous that game is. I love it, and the co-op is frickin' fun. That game has way more content than this remake so far, and most of it isn't even behind a paywall. Same with, oh man, if they remake 5 and try to make it super realistic, like, and like dole down Albert Wesker, like you're gonna piss people off. I hated but that's one thing I want to quickly say. They do. Is this a spoiler? I don't know if it's a spoiler. Anyways, if it is a spoiler, Albert Wesker is in a quick cutscene at the end of this game. I did not like his voice. I did not like his voice. I love DC Douglas as Albert. I even kind of like the guy who did a DC Douglas impression in Dead by Daylight. Frickin' love that guy. Bring that guy in. That guy's frickin' awesome. He does a really good impression of DC Douglas's. When I found out DC Douglas also plays Legion and Mass Effect, that frickin' blew my mind. I love that character too. DC Douglas is just an awesome voice actor in general. But man, I love that performance he gives to Albert Wesker. I can't see any other performance to Albert Wesker, otherwise he's just freaking boring as hell. He's just so fun, and he's like one of the best freaking villains in a video game. He is up there with Ganondorf. I love Ganondorf. He's one of my freaking favorite villains as well. I love Ganondorf. I love his design. I love what he contributes to most of the stories. Sometimes he's not always utilized in a way that people are gonna like, but he's still cool. Like, I know people kind of wanted Zant to be the main focus of Twilight Princess, for example, but he's still freaking cool, and they wanted to give you what they promised in that old trailer when people were disappointed in Wind Waker, and now Wind Waker is loved and cherished by people, so shut the frick up. No. How will people's minds change? Maybe people's minds will change over the years, either in a more positive or negative direction for both the games I talked about today. Yeah. I don't think that can be said for Redfall, though. It's gonna be hard to fix that game. You would have to fix the AI and actually put more enemies in the open world because it feels empty as hell. If you have a problem with not Breath of the Wild, and Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are fricking both kind of survival-ish games, and there is more life and people and settlements and stuff, or towns in Tears of the Kingdom, and I love that. But, yeah, I think it is a freaking awesome-ass game. It is definitely worth your money. And it's probably going to be my game of the year. I really like Resident Evil 4 too, but I don't do remakes, as I don't think remakes deserve game of the year, honestly, because it's a remake of an older game. Like, you kind of, know what to expect from it. I know you can make a lot of changes, and there are a lot of things that could contribute to being like a game of the year. But,
you will receive our most sacred body.
You're underwhelming in this game. But, yeah, like, oh, he's missing his freaking gear, of course. Also, you're underutilized in this game.
Located baby eagle. It sounds like she's being kept in some church.
I'm wondering how the remakes of Silent Hill 2 and
I heard it from this guy I met.
Frickin'
Said his name is
Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater are gonna be.
There's
I'm cautiously optimistic about those.
I need you to run a background check.
I remember watching a Mike Burn Fire video where he was like, Konami disbanded, or they're no longer a frickin'...
I'm probably due for confession anyway.
God, where's a Steam discount when you need it? I see your comment now. Sorry I didn't get to it earlier. Yeah, this is a great game. I definitely think it's worth it. Like, I was hesitant on the price. I still don't think any game should be $70, but thank you for making games $70. Most of the games that have been $70 recently, other than Zelda, have not freaking felt worth it. There have been a lot of mess ups there with the games trying to be like, oh, the price point going up is worth it more. Like, they're definitely were the really good games, like Godfall. Oh wait, that was garbage. And was that $70? I can't remember. That was still awful though. Or Callisto Protocol, or Forspoken. It's like all those games freaking suck though. There's so many games freaking suck. That have been trying to push the $70. The only one that I feel somewhat succeeds is Zelda. Zelda is the closest thing. It gives you so much goddamn content, even if you find it tedious. I think it's still fun, and I think that they do a good enough job with the puzzles and such that they have at hand for you. So there's enough variety there. There's plenty of variety. I almost missed tricking stuff getting this dude. Almost botched that.
Hey, that's my gear.
Yeah, that is your gear. Metal Gear. But I hope whatever you got to hear or see or whatever of the review, I hope you... Oh, frick off. Come on, bring it. I want to parry you. Oh. I guess I have to get a perfect dodge. I almost knocked him into the does that hurt me? Okay. No, it's just damaging my frickin' Maybe it did hurt me on the first one, but I'm not certain, 100% certain on that. Okay, good, I didn't use my... Oh, another kitchen knife, thank you. Rats! But yeah, I once again, we're getting some good games. I am hearing great things about Street Fighter 6. I'm not good at fighting games, but I downloaded a demo. I don't own Street Fighter 6, but I downloaded a demo. I'm going to try that out. I'm hoping that I'll have a lot of fun with that. I know my friend is. I think he owns a copy. I was talking to him that we should go over one another's house sometime soon and hang out and play some local co-op games. You know, because it's something that I want to do, and like, why would you not want to do that? Like, that's something special to a lot of people, kind of like how Halo freaking removed it. Is this something I have to be quick with? This is something I gotta be quick with. Frick, where is that? Where is that? Forget where that was. Frick. I hate my life. Oh, it's still... Okay, it's still going, actually. I know where it is now. Alright. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. No, Pikachu. Wait, what? Woo! Oh yeah, I got my stuff back, thank you.
I'll be taking
Thanks for all that stuff too. Holy crap, that's a lot of kitchen knives. I don't have a goddamn key. Oh. Alright, where are we going? Oh, probably through that door. Oh, is this the... Yep, it's merchant dude.
Over here, stranger.
Over here, stranger. Thank you.
Let's do some big
Shut up.
business.
I remember telling him to shut the hell up a lot in my playthrough as well.
Welcome.
He talks a
I've
lot.
got something
I
new
wish
for
he would
you.
just talk due to your interactions and stuff in the game.
Why not try your hand at a new gun, stranger? Might save your life.
I mean, space is good.
That cash in your pocket or your life.
Upgrading is also good.
Easy choice, mate.
Yeah,
A bit
whatever.
more space never hurt anyone. Perfect size
No.
for you, stranger. Gotta select
I guess I
combat
can't
anytime.
tune up. I'm saving eggs, by the way, because I think you can beat Salazar's boss battle with fricking eggs. Or at least rotten eggs. I did not know that originally, but when I found it out, I was like, oh, thank you. That boss is fricking annoying and not fun. I had a fricking annoying ass time when I originally played it. Thank goodness there's something like that, unless Capcom decided to say, hey, no. Even though I feel like that's something Capcom put there for you purposely to have another gameplay option to how you approach a boss battle. If they removed that, or thought it was something to fix, then screw them.
Take a look.
But if not, then okay. But I know they have probably fixed other things that people used for speedrunning purposes and glitches, which probably really annoying to those people. So, yeah, I don't know what to say there. It's annoying, but what can you do? Then again, you could argue what could you do in the situation I was just talking about. Hey, frick you. Shit. Anyways, I should probably end it so that this video isn't too long. But that's not that I won't have another live stream afterwards, or whatever. Whatever it is. Oh, frick, what was I thinking? Oh. Thank you for dying, and for the money. Oh, what is this? Oh, it's this freaking area. God, did I save? I can't remember if I saved. I'm gonna save again and end it here. I hope you enjoyed nonetheless. I hope I contributed enough in my reviews. I'm sorry if I repeat myself at all, or if I like...
Oh, nothing but the finest way.
Yeah, I do want to contribute. I actually think there is one more thing. I think that I forgot... Did I forget? I think I might have mentioned it, but I just wanted to say that, like, I think that Zelda was really polished. They did a great job. It runs really smoothly. It doesn't have that same... Which was a very minor problem in Breath of the Wild, but, I keep calling it Breath of the Wild as well, but, Tears of the Kingdom has... Yeah, it doesn't have... I haven't seen any frame rate so far. It runs really smoothly. I think it was just a fantastic experience overall and well polished. There was a lot to it. I'm glad they took the time to fix anything that may have been broken in the process. Yeah. There are some awesome glitches too, like the frickin'... I call it the Metal Gear Solid Sword, but I know it's MSG, so Metal Solid Gear Sword. I sadly couldn't get that glitch to work for the life of me. I was trying to. My friend did, though. But, yeah, I don't think he used the other part of the glitch where you can make it do, like, 85 damage, which is frickin' ridiculous. But there were some great... I think there's still some great glitches and stuff in that game you can utilize for farming and crap. But, or duplicating. But yeah, freaking awesome-ass game. I'm glad it turned out the way it did. I don't know where Zelda is going after this game. Once again, not gonna spoil stuff. I will just say that I don't know where they're gonna go next, if there's gonna be a third Zelda game like this or whatever. I kind of would like to see a new environment similar to like Majora's Mask, like if they go to a different continent. That would be cool. I didn't mind going back to the same area we are. They had plenty of differences and changes and variety in certain things that I was satisfied enough, and I just wanted more Breath of the Wild basically, so I really enjoyed my time with it and I didn't mind so much. Maybe somebody else would have a different state of mind with it, but for me, I really liked it. I didn't mind. I'm probably going to have a pain in the ass time doing the Korok Seed thing, but I will take my time with that so that it's not a pain in the ass, where I think Completionist, because it's his job, is going to make it a pain in the ass because he has to kind of rush through it and such, and it's going to make it a worse experience. Which was the same thing with his Skyrim review, I have to say, because that frickin' Completionist review of Skyrim is gone for some reason. I don't know if it's because of poor reception of it or something he didn't genuinely feel was that great about the video, but I feel like his opinion on it was ruined due to the fact because it was his job and the way he plays games and his overall rushing of those games just to complete it within a limited amount of time freaking made the experience a lot worse than it probably should have been, instead of taking your time or enjoying it at a pace that's reasonable to you. And I feel like over the years, Completionist has kind of forgotten his place with that, and it kind of sucks. I still think he's a great reviewer. I still enjoy his videos, and he's got a lot to contribute to the conversation on the Completionist side, but I do feel like it being his obligation, or maybe not obligation, I hate using that word, his job, it probably ruins his experience the way he's approaching it. I like your animations, by the way, Leon. I have to say that. Yeah, Zelda has so many cool costumes in it, by the way. Frickin' love Zelda's costumes. I love that I can wear this jacket most of the time, even though it's not really anything new. It just gives you the option to finally wear it more. Okay, why are you doing that? Are you hurt or something? Oh, you are. Okay. Interesting. I'm not healing you right now, though. But yeah, like both great games. So games that I will quickly say games I'm looking forward to where I just don't give a crap about. There's a new Amnesia game Is it Amnesia? trying to remember. There's a new Amnesia game. If you saw that pop up, it's just telling me that there's the little blurry thing on the side of the screen is just telling me that something installed. It is just an update for one of my other games. Yeah, I don't remember why it blurs that. I think it's just a personalized thing. But yeah, I don't care about Diablo 4, honestly. Like, if you're a Diablo fan and if it's really good, props to you. I hope you love it and you got the Diablo you wanted. I personally don't care. I lost interest in Diablo as well as Blizzard just being the dickheads they are. The things they've done and such, pissed me off and pissed other people off. I just have a sour taste about them, and I just honestly didn't care for a lot of their games, like Overwatch 2. Like, frick Overwatch, screw that game. Like, I don't know. I used to play Overwatch with my brother a lot, I will say that, but personally, I just don't care. I don't want to be... I hope I wasn't rude about that either. I sometimes get out of hand with that, so I was like... I mean, frick that game and my perspective of never mind. But, yeah, like, I'm just not into the new Diablo. What else? What else is coming out? Is there much else? I don't think Starfield's coming out this year. If it does, I'm still cautious about that game just because of after Fallout 76 and such. I'm cautious about Bethesda. Though I still do love a lot of their older stuff and such, though you probably contribute a lot of the good stuff to Bethesda like games like the earlier Fallout games, more to Obsidian, even though I was not a fan of Outer Worlds. Outer Worlds was a game I really loved at first, but the more I played that or came back to it or saw its faults, I started to like it less, and I decided not to play it more because my feelings towards it kept going down. It's kind of like if I were to review it, I would not feel satisfied with the review. And you could probably argue the same thing here, but I do feel satisfied here. For some reason, Outer Worlds, I was not satisfied with my I did not do a review, but I was not satisfied with it, and it kept going down. It started, my first playthrough was a 9 out of 10. I was like, oh, this is awesome, and then it went down to an 8. I was like, okay, I'm seeing some cracks here, and then it went down to a 7 out of 10. I was like, I probably shouldn't play this more before it goes to a 6 and then a 5 out of 10. So I was a bit disappointed by that. I don't know what to think of Avowed. I do like their Grounded game, though. Is it called Grounded? I can't remember. I do like that, but it's not the type of game a lot of people really love from them. Or love to... Sorry, I'm on this screen. Really want to play or expect from a company like Obsidian, but still, fun game. Yeah, I can't think of any other games. I think there's a new Final Fantasy coming out. Honestly, I'm kind of tired of Final Fantasy. Is like the land before time of games. No, I'm just kidding. I mean the number-wise, not quality-wise. I just think that's funny, like, the land before time. Like, just imagine if it was kind of like the Kingdom Hearts games, but there were anime Final Fantasy characters in the Land Before Time movies. They would probably be more exciting that way. That would be funny. Though I can see the plots getting stupid. Especially as many frickin' movies and even the TV shows they had. Jeez, that should not have gone. The first movie was frickin' great. Just frick off with the rest. I think a couple of the earlier ones, like 2 and 3 and stuff, had good messages, though, in them. There's actually a message in, I think, the second one that I still relate to with my family to this day. But I can't tell you if I entirely remember it word by word. But yeah, that was a weird thing to get into in a video like this. But I hope you enjoyed nonetheless. I kind of drift off with my conversations from time to time. It's just a make for conversation video, whether you'd enjoy what I have to say or not. And hopefully you did, or you got something out of it. I don't know. I hope the audio is fine, by the way, too. I checked it a couple times. There is, like, kind of a slight buzzing, as well as I gotta make sure it's in a good enough position where I'm not breathing into my mic. I've had that problem a lot in the past, and I'm trying to, like, I have breathing problems in general. I sound like the frickin', if you know the movie, um, the movie Student Bodies, the breather dude. My grandmother was a big fan of that stupid ass movie. She liked a lot of dumb humor, though. You know, it's a knock-knock joke humor, just like bad, like, this so-and-so walked into a bar kind of jokes and stuff. Like the kind of jokes you find from a bad joke book. But she had good humor, too. It was just funny that she liked that humor. She loved a lot of good movies, too, though, that had great humor, like Airplane. I love Airplane, and I love the Naked Gun movies. She loved the Naked Gun movies as well. Yeah. And drifting off with my conversation. Those are my reviews. 9.5, I believe, I give Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, and a 8.7 I gave Resident Evil 4 Remake. Both great games. I really enjoyed my experiences. I'm finally glad we're getting some good games. We've got some freaking awful games with Gollum and Redfall. I'm probably going to make a video just talking about kind of the history of, my next video will probably talk about the history, or I'll do something else. Maybe not so much history, but just like going over each of the Arcane Studios games and like my overall thoughts and opinions on them, as well as like how they were received from the audience perspective. Yeah. That'll be an interesting video for next time. And I think I'll just say here, I think Prey is my favorite game of theirs. That was an awesome game, though I would have loved to see the original Prey 2 idea. That would have been cool. And I kind of like the original Prey game. But with the Don't Fear the Reaper song at the beginning, that was a frickin' song. Probably wouldn't play, I would probably have to mute that just because of the frickin' music would get copyrighted. But I hope you enjoyed.